Something's kind of bothered me this evening. We seem to have forgotten that today is President's Day. So I'm going to correct that. In the not-so-distant future, humans will develop the technology to resurrect one dead American president to help solve all of the world's problems. Out of ignorance and a slight mechanical malfunction, we will choose Chester A. Arthur, 21st President of the United States. Now, at first, it will be pretty fucking awesome. He will rise from the grave in all of his old, crusty glory, with moss and old ideas clinging to him as movement slowly returns to his fragile limbs. Hipsters will bow at his feet and worship his wild facial hair, and will run him for president again since he was only elected to one term in the first place, and no one will think to check why that was. His followers will think that he is so radical for having ideas that are so old. They will run him in the newly formed Mustache Party, and Burt Reynolds will be his running mate. And he will win in a landslide, winning every state of the union except for Iowa, which cast all of its electoral votes for an oversized corn dog, which surprisingly actually has some pretty good views on foreign policy. But then comes the day of his inauguration. The inauguration itself will be a beautiful thing, with impassioned speeches about the power of old ideas. But everyone will be a bit distracted, concerned with the fact that President-elect Arthur has enlisted the help of the National Guard to make sure that no Chinese people participate in the festivities. And then the scholars will begin to reopen their dusty textbooks and realize that there may have been a reason that he only served one term, and he was actually sort of a bigot, banning immigration of the Chinese and the mentally ill. Slowly, the country will turn on him. We will start with the hipsters, because now that he's president, he's too mainstream. The rest of the country will follow suit until Congress finally agrees unanimously to dispose of President Arthur. The first time they have agreed unanimously on something since the time they all decided to go out for milk and cookies. We will push him back into the grave and cover him back up with the ignorance and naivete that he exploited in the first place, and we will all breathe a sigh of relief and rejoice in the notion that the solutions to our problems lie not behind us, but rather in the road that stretches out in front of us.